Nice. Love Barcelona. I got a few things to say, a few things in my noggin that I wrote late last night. For some reason, it's not showing up here, though. Why is it not showing up? There we go. Got a few notes that I might get to. Trying to figure out the best way to do this on Facebook at the same time. Going live right now. Something called Mega Maker Wednesday. I am in the vault. This is a former post office bank vault where they kept all the stamps. I'm not sure if it's super echoey on your side. We've tried to soundproof it a ton, and it's okay when I use a mic like this, dynamic mic, because it just, sound has to be right here, but if you use like a condenser mic like this, it just sucks in all this metal sound from everywhere. All right. I'm getting close here. Just to compare the power of Facebook Live to YouTube, YouTube Live, I've got one viewer on YouTube right now live, and I've got 7 people already on Facebook. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh crap. Sorry guys. Gotta update something. Hold on, I gave the wrong link. That's why I have no viewers. Because on YouTube, I messed up the link. All right, so this is fixed. Fixed, hopefully. Just gonna check the YouTube link. Yeah, I got it, Matt. I got it. I think that should work now. All right, and we got a little watch on Facebook. All right, beauty. Shout out to London for Edgar. Just had someone bike to Vernon, British Columbia from where was, he's in a place, Edgar, he's in a place south of London, an hour on the beach. I don't know where that is. Okay, so I'm gonna try for the live folks on YouTube. I'm gonna try putting in my earbuds just to make the sound a bit better. Oh, I had an idea to like officially start this by doing a countdown each time. Let's see if this works. So is that gonna be backwards for you guys? 5, 4, 3, 2. It's backwards for me. I don't know. It must be backwards for you guys. I should have made this flipped around. All right. I'm going to try to plug in my earphones here. Turn off. That was Black Wizard, if anyone is interested in them. Hello. This seems to be working. That's good. Put the other one in. And you folks in, well, he didn't bike all the way from London. He took a boat over and then he biked all over the all over North America. All right, so I'm going to try to put this here, and then it'll kind of look like I'm looking at both things at the same time. So as an explanation, I thought I should start doing more live events, and this might become a regular live event called Mega Wednesdays, maybe. But it all depends on whether I'm able to do it on a frequent basis and how this one goes and if people like it and if I have the discipline to keep doing it and keep practicing and keep mixing with the mediums. So like I said, I'm on YouTube right now. I'm on Facebook Live right now. And all of this is available at megamaker.co/live. Now, I want to talk about a few things specifically related to people who make stuff or want to make stuff for a living, people who might describe themselves as solopreneurs. And this has come up a bunch as I've had, this past week, I had 2 different groups of people visit me in Vernon, British Columbia, which is this tiny little city in the interior, from different places. So I had Paul from, where is he from in the UK? Now it's going to bug me. Anyway, he's in the UK, and he was biking all over North America. He came and visited. We went to Ratio and had a coffee. And then Antoine from Quebec and his girlfriend are traveling across Canada in a VW Westie. And they stopped by, and we went for beers with a bunch of other people from the co-working place here. Yeah, we'll see, Xander. Hey, mega weekly-ish. It might be more frequent than that. So here's a conversation that I end up having a lot with these folks is, in general, there is a move towards workers being more and more independent. And part of the reason for this is if you look at like over a long period of time since the 70s, jobs that used to be like good middle-class jobs like manufacturing, even like tech jobs are increasingly being offshored. And that's been happening for a long time, but it's really kind of come home to roost now. We're finally feeling the effects in North America and in Europe. And those jobs are probably not coming back, especially in manufacturing. You've got, that has moved to China and India. And for ages, those were the good manufacturing jobs. Those were, if you had, a middle-class family, you went to work for Ford for 30 years building cars, and you were a part of a union, and that's how you made a good living. But now, with all of those going away, there's increasingly this movement towards independent work. And the way I was describing it to Paul, my new friend Paul from the UK, was there's like this ladder of independence. And for a lot of people, it looks like this. They are working a regular job, and they're like, I would like a little bit more autonomy in terms of where I live. And so they go, okay, I'm going to become a remote worker. And so that's their first step towards independence is they're like, I'm going to try to find a remote job, or I'm going to try to work from home 1 day a week. So they go to their boss and they say, can I work from home 1 day a week? This is how it worked for me. I went to my boss, said, can I work from home 1 day a week? Gradually, I said, I'd like to be full-time remote. I want to be able to decide where I live, for example, and begged and begged and begged, and finally was able to get a job remote, working from here in Vernon, British Columbia. The next kind of step or rung on the ladder towards independent work is making something just for yourself, not really for anybody else, not for money, but making something, putting it out into the world, and something that's aside from work, something that you just do for you because you are a human being and you just want to, I'm creative. I want to do something for myself. And that could be, that could be making some pottery. That could be creating a podcast. For me, it was creating a podcast. My buddy Kyle Fox and I, right after I'd moved to Vernon, started this podcast called Product People. And we were doing it just for fun. We weren't doing it for money. We weren't doing it for anything else, except we wanted to try to create something that was outside of our day job. And we did. And then the next step above that is making something small and charging a little bit of money for it. And so again, with the Product People podcast, one thing Kyle and I tried was like, well, what if we do these little mini ads at the end of the podcast called shout outs? And you can buy those for, I think it was like $15 or something. And it was just like a little test of us making something small and then charging for it and a really small amount. And once you get that first kind of experience of making something super small and charging money for it and getting, even if it's just $1, Dan Martell, my friend, a great entrepreneur, has this quote. He says, if you've made $1 on the internet, you've made it. And it is kind of true because it gives you this feeling of independence. Hi, Harold. Good to see you, man. When you make something and you sell it for $1, it gives you this feeling of I did something apart from my day job. This isn't like getting a paycheck. This is me creating something super small, putting it out into the world, and then somebody, maybe I don't even know, from the internet paying me for it. That's another step on this independence ladder. And you kind of keep going up this ladder. And the reason a lot of people are doing this, and another step in this independence ladder might be deciding to do consulting full-time. Another step might be, I'm going to just make my livelihood from the things I make. I'm going to get parched in here. It's like super hot in here. It's like a sweat lodge in here. And I didn't bring any water. So we'll see how long I last here. So there's all these steps. And again, I think there's a lot of you, and me included, that are listening, for example, to my show, Mega Maker, and listening to Product People and some of the other things I've created. Because, I mean, some of you are listening because you're bored. You just want some entertainment. But some of you are here because you're not satisfied. You're happy people, you're good people, but you're not satisfied with the way things are. And you want your life to be better. You might be in a bad situation at work and you want to get out. Maybe you're just trying to make a better life for your kids. Maybe your spouse is watching the kids at home and it's your job to pay for the diapers and the formula, and you're just trying to make ends meet. And increasingly, people have to do more and more to make ends meet. Like the day job isn't enough. You have to add some sort of side hustle on the side. And, I know a lot of folks, especially who listen to podcasts, are listening like in traffic. And, being in traffic almost killed me. I didn't get into an accident, but just that daily commute of driving into the city just sucked the life out of me. And I think all of these folks that kind of fall into that group are looking for hope. You're hoping that there's more than just working a day job. You're hoping that there's more than, doing the things you're doing right now to make a living. And you're just kind of looking for like, what is the path? What is in this case, the ladder to getting yourself out of that situation? And I think the thing that I want to impress on people is that it does take these little steps to get out. And as I was sitting in my bed last night and thinking about like, how did I get myself from being in traffic and just wanting to just feeling like the life had been sapped out of me, driving to a day job. How did I get from that to where I'm at now, which is trying to sell my own products for a living? Most of my living is writing books right now, and then I make some money off some software that I've built. But and it's still like not complete gravy, I'm still like working hard to put food on the table. But I am at this point of independence where it's all up to me, And I have the freedom to make decisions every day. I have the freedom to go for coffee with Paul from the UK when he comes into town, or go for beers with Antoine from Quebec when they come into town. How did I get from being stuck in traffic to where I'm at now? And it really is about this ladder, about starting at this rung here, where I just made something for myself, not for anybody else, just made something independently and put it out into the world for people to enjoy. And then, oh man, I'm getting all these comments on Facebook Live, and it's funny. Thanks, Nick. And then the next rung was making something small and charging a little bit of money for it. And then the next step was making something a little bit bigger and charging a bit more money for it. And as I'm doing this, I'm also gaining expertise, and I'm also becoming, in this case, an authority on products and product marketing. And so then I started doing some consulting, and that was another step towards independence. And then I, went and did consulting full time, and then that was another step towards independence, all the way up until I got to this point where I was able in November to say, I'm going to stop consulting full time, and I'm going to just switch to making my own stuff and being able to make a living from it, being able to feed my kids with the money I make from books and software and other things. And that's really the message I wanted to give today. I think a lot of people are feeling hopeless because they're the ones stuck in traffic. But the key isn't to be like, I'm here, down here, hopeless, stuck in traffic, and then there's some people up here who have made it, full-time in independent work, whether that's consulting or whatever. The real key is these little baby steps up the ladder, and you don't make progress by like just despairing. The way you make progress is by these small incremental steps. So I think that's it. That's kind of what I wanted to say. There's still people joining in Facebook. Actually, if you're on Facebook, if you have any questions or comments, let me know before we leave. Yeah. So Harold is saying, like, when you're stuck in traffic, for a lot of people, what gets you through that period of time is being able to listen to podcasts, which is exactly the way it was for me. But at the time, I remember listening to podcasts and feeling like sometimes it would make me despair more, because I felt like, there's all these people that are out there kind of living their dream, and I'm here stuck in traffic going to this job downtown. But again, it wasn't until I started doing these small little things, first of all, just for myself, just to say I could do it, just to create something, and then slowly building an audience, slowly charging for things, slowly building a profile, a name for myself, and then feeling like I had critical mass enough, feeling like I had enough of an audience, I had sold enough products on the side, I had done enough work, I had a little bit of a nest egg that I could go completely independent. So I'll end with this question here. Edgar, I don't know how you say the last name, Edgar. Edgar Figueredo says, how do you manage and balance your time between making stuff and your family? That's a good question. For one thing, a lot of people have like really slick answers for this. And the truth is like, I'm not a great person to live with. So my wife is a saint, and like I'm not great with fixing stuff around the house. I am not great with chores. I'm just I don't put a lot of time into landscaping. All the time I would normally put into landscaping and fixing the house and all that stuff, I put into making stuff. And that's kind of crappy for my wife. She's great at that stuff, and I'm trying my best to balance it. But in the real kind of grittiness of life, the truth is I don't do as much of that stuff as some spouses would. The other thing is that worked for me when I was working full time is waking up super, super early. So I would wake up at 5 a.m. I would open my computer, get a bunch of stuff done, mostly writing, and then I would leave for work at like 7 o'clock. And I just did that every day, and it was hard, but it helped me, get a lot of work out there. I also, the other thing that's worked for me is setting deadlines. So if I have a project that I want to get out, I put a deadline on it and I ship it no matter what. So Jolt, the book I just released, I said I was going to ship for the pre-orders by July 30th at 3 p.m. And I said, no matter what, I'm shipping. And so when the 30th came, I knew there was still a few typos in the book, but I just knew I wanted to get it out. Like I had to force myself to get it out. And it was fine. Like I got it out and I released updates after it was released. So those are two things. And then the third thing would be, what was I thinking? Oh, inspiration. Inspiration. When I get inspired, I try to jump on it right away. So I have as soon as I have an idea, if I was at work and I could take a coffee break and write that outline of that blog post, I was going to go do that. If it was 11 o'clock at night, I knew that I would just keep me up all night. I would just get out of bed and go and work on that thing. I would jump aboard the inspiration train. And it's amazing how much work you can get done when you're inspired. And often Jason Fried says inspiration is like fruit. It perishes if you let it, if you wait too long. And even worse, sometimes with inspiration, you forget what the kind of nugget of that inspiration was. And if you forget, then it's gone. So I always found if I just jumped on those right away, I got more work done. I got better work done. You get even if it's just to pound out the outline or get the initial chunk of that thing, it really, really works. So, yeah, and Philippe Antoine just says, gave this Roosevelt quote. I like this one too. It says, do what you can with what you have where you are. And I agree with that completely. And in terms of balancing family, one more thing I'll say. So balancing side projects with family. One decision my wife and I made is that I would not go full-time doing my own thing until all of our kids were in school. And while they were babies, while they were still in diapers, I really tried not to do very many side projects, and especially not big side projects. When your kids are infants, they require so much energy and so much focus, and it's best to just put your ideas and put your kind of ambition to the side and just enjoy that period of life. And then when your kids are older and more independent, it makes a huge difference. You'll be able to start doing your own stuff again. Our oldest is 13 and can babysit the other 3. And that's made a huge difference in our lives. Just the ability to go out for coffee if we want to, or for me to, jet down to the office at night after the kids are all in bed and still have energy to work on my own stuff. All right, so I'll do one more tour of the booth for those of you that came late. So this is a vault. I was showing this to Paul from the UK. He was like, "This really is a vault." It is. It's a old bank vault, and It's super hot in here. I'm sweating like crazy, but this is where I usually record podcasts, and this was the only space in the co-working place I run to record this today. So I don't know if you guys want to see more of this kind of live event stuff, but let me know on Twitter. I'm the letter M, the letter I, Justin, Twitter, MI Justin. And I'm also trying to do more stuff on Instagram. Instagram, I'm MI Justin as well. Snapchat, I'm MI Justin as well. Or you can leave a comment in this and let me know if you want to see more stuff, more Mega Wednesday stuff. Yeah, and actually, if you guys can give those thumbs up on Facebook Live, and no one's given me a heart yet. You guys didn't heart this apparently, but yeah, we'll see if people like this. I'll do more of these in the future, and I'll try to be more give people more advanced notice about when I'll be doing them. All right, peace. Talk to you later.